All right, folks. What I'm about to read to you sounds like we are in the twilight zone, but make no mistake about it. It is sobering and it is absolutely true because this is what is going on. Now, I'm going to go somewhere with this because, once again, I want to emphasize how crazy it has been to think that we can look at what Russia is doing in Ukraine and expect that people are going to believe that all of the failures we're seeing in the world right now is a direct result of what Russia did to Ukraine. I say it's a direct result of incompetence, and anybody else who's looking at this actually might be a lot less generous than I'm being and saying it's the result of willful, negligent behavior designed to destroy the economies of the world in an effort to bring about the mechanism of globalism to seek to want to bring in a new world order. And that's probably the more accurate statement. Let me read to you the first paragraph of this article. This is something else. Of course, Zero Hedge, they hit it out of the, they just hit it out of the ballpark, and they're giving us attention to an article by Brandon Smith at altmarket.us, and he says this, and it's very interesting. He says, though the situation is ever-changing, currently the Russian government has announced an official shutdown of all natural gas exports to Europe through the Nord Stream 1 pipeline and plans to maintain the shutdown until the EU ends its economic sanctions over the war in Ukraine. Now, this means that around 40%, yes, ladies and gentlemen, 40% of Europe's energy resources are now, watch this, now gone, with supply chain issues surrounding the other 60% and prices skyrocketing for skyrocketing for households and businesses. Folks, this is crazy, but I want you to understand what's actually going on here. Understand that when these people chose to call Russia their scapegoat, when they chose to make Russia look like the big, bad, evil people that they are, you need to understand that they knew fully what they were engulfing themselves into. They knew what they were doing. They forced Russia into a corner. When Russia responded the way they did, not that I'm supporting Russia doing that, they then chose to do what they thought they could do with their political capital created by the starting of this war. And then when things began to go in the direction of unintended consequences, like the CIA assets being in danger in Ukraine, as well as all kinds of other things, they began to change their tune. And now we find ourselves in the midst of disaster. Folks, there is a point in time, the Bible tells us this, that they will come to a point where there will be 10 nations. They will come together and at one point are going to realize that even in the consolidated source that they have put together as a group of nations, they will not be able to solve the problems in front of them, and they will capitulate that power to the final Antichrist. Then we're going to see some crazy things happen. But praise God, as Christians, we won't be here. We'll be raptured before that happens. But it's important that we live up to the call that God has placed upon our lives, and that is those who are called to be the preserving influence on this earth. We need to live like it. We need to stand for righteousness and not allow this nonsense to continue. Guys, we need to stand up. When we're raptured, it'll all cut loose. But it's beginning to go there pretty quickly, which sort of gives me an indication that Jesus is coming soon. All right? All right, guys, God bless you. Keep fighting the good fight.